If you have props, grab them. Block, bolster, blanket, whatever you may need. We don't have to use them, but I'll give options to use them as we move through class. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Bree, and we're moving through a 45-minute-ish Vinyasa class. So come to lie down on your back. And once you feel your back ground on the earth, you can take one of two positions. It might just be with your arms out long and your legs long, or you can bend your knees, ground your feet, bring your feet as wide as your mat, and knock your knees in towards one another. So this type of position feels really good for me in my low back, specifically the area right round behind the hips, which is why I take this position. But I encourage you to feel into your body and do what feels best for you as we ground into this moment. Close your eyes and deepen your inhales and elongate your exhales. And feel the weight of your body rest into the support of the earth. And as you begin to simply arrive on your mat in this space and time, notice how you're showing up in both your mind and your body today. And if anything feels a little bit grumpy in your body, breathe more space into those places. Begin to release any breath you're holding in your lungs. Let it go through the mouth, HA. Inhale through your nose. Open up through your mouth, release, let it go, HA. Inhale. And open mouth, release, exhale. Begin to pull your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a nice good morning squeeze or good afternoon, depending on what time it is for you. You can rock a little side to side. Ground both feet now. Reach your right leg high to the sky and interlace your hands around your right thigh. Stretch your left leg out long on the yoga mat. Push your left leg down into the ground. From the pelvis, expand out long through your legs, nice and strong out through your heels. Breathe. And create some nice big circles with your right toes in one direction. And bring those circles with your right toes in the other direction. Begin to bend your right knee. Pull your right knee wide into the right armpit and bring your right hand to the outside edge of your right foot. Stretch your foot towards the ceiling so your shin's about perpendicular to the ground. Now, if this doesn't feel accessible for you, you can grab your shin or your thigh, really whatever you can hold on to. And then roll a little bit towards the right, straighten out through the right knee any amount. Bend your knee and roll all the way over to the outside edge of your left hip. And then come all the way back over to the right, straighten out through the right knee any amount. Bend the knee back in towards that half happy baby shape and roll over towards the left. It's kind of like a twist, but you're not really twisting because your shoulders are rolling with the hips. Take 3 more like that. Roll over towards the right, bend the knee and roll over towards the left. It's like you're drawing big arcs with your right toes. And practice breathing in and out through your nose. And next time your right leg crosses over your body, release your right leg and bring your right arm to a cactus or to a T shape. You're in a spinal twist here. You could place a block underneath your right shin. The right leg can be straight or bent. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes it can feel nice to put a hand on top of your left thigh. And find your breath. Inhale, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Pull your left knee in and interlace your hands around your left thigh. Option to use your right elbow and press the right thigh bone away from you. Figure 4 on your back. Begin to straighten out through your left knee and bend the left knee. Working through a little dynamic stretch through your hamstring. That's also optional. I'm just giving you different things that you can do within each posture. And again, just kind of work with what feels best for your body. Not necessarily what is habitual for your body, but what truly feels best. And take another breath here. And begin to unwind. Ground your feet, straighten out through both legs, and just pause, noticing from left to right, side to side, how you feel. Reach your left leg up. Interlace your hands around your left thigh. Push the thigh nice and firmly into the hand. Stay strong and engage through your legs, like you're giving the muscles a hug with the container of the skin. Breathe. And begin to bend your left knee. Pull your left knee way and wide towards the armpit. Bring your left hand to the outside edge of your left foot. Pull your foot down towards the earth as you give yourself a little kick with the foot up into the hand. Ardha Ananda Balasana, half happy baby. Begin to straighten out any amount through the left knee. That might not be very much for you. And then bend the knee back in and work to find that kind of rock or roll over to the outside edge of your right hip. Come all the way back. Option to straighten any amount through the left knee. And again, rolling over. It might feel more stable if you bring your right arm to a T shape. And take another 3 more of these, kind of drawing of the big arcs with the left toes. And next time your leg crosses over, allow your leg to completely twist over towards the right as your left arm comes to a cactus or a T. Right hand can rest on the left thigh, or you could have a bolster, a pillow, a block, or something underneath your right thigh or shin for some support. Use your exhalation to melt the left shoulder blade down into the ground. Maybe you gaze towards the left. Maybe you keep your neck a little bit more neutral towards the sky. Inhale, cross the left ankle over your right knee. Pull your right knee in and interlace your hands around your right thigh. Flex your toes back towards your ankles. And if you find that dynamic range of motion on the other side, play with bending and straightening out through the right knee here. Begin to release your legs, ground your feet. Now, if you do have a block, you can use that with this next pose. And you'll bring your block, well, first pull your knees in towards your chest, flex your toes up towards the sky. Bring your block in the longest setting to your left thigh. And then bring your right elbow to touch that block. Interlace your hands behind your skull. Now you can do this same position without the block. You just practice pressing your low back down into the ground. Now straighten your right leg high to the sky. Keep pushing your left knee into the block and your right elbow into the block. Slowly lower your right leg to about a hover on the earth. Inhale, lift your leg up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up. 3 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift up. Move your block if you're using it and switch elbows. This time it's the left elbow, and I can give you guidance without that block as well. So same thing, you're pressing the left elbow into the block and the right knee into the block. Slowly lower that left leg to a hover and lift the left leg back up. So we still get plenty of core without the block. Lower it down. Lift it up. Keep encouraging your left shoulder blade off the mat. 3 more. Lower and lift. Lower. Lift. Last one here. Lower it down. And lift your leg back up. Pull both knees in. Move your block off to the side. Begin to bring your hands behind your thighs and rock and roll on your back a few times. You can rock as much as you'd like. Eventually you rock your way up to a tabletop position. When you land in a tabletop, check in with your foundation, what is touching the earth. Hands are about shoulders distance apart. Point your fingers face straight ahead. Pull back through your finger pads and root down through the perimeter of the palms. Stack your knees below the hips. Inhale and tilt your sit bones up towards the sky. Mount through your heart. Find a nice cow spine. Exhale, round. Press your hands and your knees into the mat as you puff up into the back body for cat. Again, inhale, tilt your sit bones up towards the sky. Mount through your heart, cow. Exhale, round, and puff up into the back body for cat. Inhale, articulating from your tailbone. Shift your hips high, broaden through your collarbones as you pull your heart through. Exhale, push into your foundation as you round into a more dome-like position through the spine. Come to a more neutral position. Tuck your toes, walk your knees back just a smidge, and lift your knees to a hover. Tug the hands back and wrap your triceps in towards the rib cage. Breathe. Stay long through the sides of the neck. And begin to send your hips all the way up and high to the sky. Find a downward facing dog. In your down dog, push one heel down and then the other, stretching through the backs of your legs, the calves. Find some stillness in your dog pose. Bend your knees a smidge, and with the bend in your knees, send the tops of your thigh bones a little farther back into space. Squeeze your outer shins in towards each other and keep tilting your sit bones up high. So you make your hips and your butt the highest point of the pose here. As you send your hips high, the tendency is to collapse in your shoulders, so keep lifting your shoulders away from the earth. Wrap the triceps in and press the earth away, so you're strong in the upper body and the lower body here. Inhale, spike your heels nice and high, come onto the tiptoes, and round your way all the way forward to a plank. Lift the skull until it's in line with the rest of your spine. Exhale, press it back, dog pose. 2 more like that. Inhale, wave it forward to a plank. Exhale, press it back, dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank position. Press the earth away nice and strong. Shift your shoulders past your wrists. Lower down for 4. Always an option to lower the knees. 3, 2, and 1. Come to a prone position. Press the tops of your feet down. Inhale and rise up, cobra pose. You can keep it low or you can bring it high. Exhale, folds. 2 more. Inhale, rise up, cobra. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise up, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhale, fold. Take it all the way down. Push into your hands and rise up either through a tabletop or a plank and send the hips high to the sky, downward facing dog. From your down dog, if the block isn't already at the top of your mat, place it there and walk your feet up to the front of the mat. Make your feet as wide as mat's distance apart. Line up the outside edge of your feet with the long edge of the mat. Bring your hands forward onto your block. Bend your knees a little and keep hinging your hips way back into space. So a functional forward fold is where we're at, y'all. Squeeze the outer shins in towards the midline and create a broadening and a widening through the upper inner thighs. Stay long through the sides of your neck and breathe. Breathe into that back body. Take another full cycle of breath here. On your inhalation, halfway lift, glide your hands up your shins. Take all of the rounding out of your spine. Exhale, bow and fold. Inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms up high. And as you exhale, bring your hands back down to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Feet are about hip distance apart now. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, grab your right wrist and side bend up and over towards the left. Tug on your wrist. Press down and out through your legs. Inhale, travel your way back through center. Switch your clasp and side bend up and over the other direction. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale and cactus your arms and open up through your heart. Inhale, pull navel to spine, reach your arms up and high. And as you exhale, find a chair pose. Bring your hips down and back into space. Push your heels into the mat and push them away from one another. Inhale. Exhale, bring your arms back. Interlace your fingers, lift up through the heart and bow to a bound forward fold. Baddha Hasta Uttanasana. So we're binding our hands as we find a forward fold. Shake your head out yes or no if there feels like there's some tension that needs to be released. Release your hands and step your way back to a plank position. From your plank, lower your forearms down to the earth and find a forearm plank. Hold your forearm plank for just a moment, tug the elbows back, breathe. Lower your hips, Sphinx pose, press the tops of the toes down. Bring your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Bring your chin down towards your collarbone and left ear comes all the way over towards the left shoulder. Lean your skull up and back. Rewind, take that nice big circle in the opposite direction. Let your head meet through center. Pull your right heel towards your bum and reach around with your right hand to grab your right foot. Create a little bit of a kick with your foot into your hand as you pull your heel towards your sit bone. And take these moments where we're pausing and holding the stretch to just channel that deep inhale and long exhale. It's common for us to breathe short breaths. That's what we do day to day. But in the practice of yoga, we're encouraged to breathe deeper in both directions. So each time you notice that breath slide away, you take that as a reminder to come back. Release your foot, pull the knees in towards the midline, second side. Reach the opposite hand around to grab for the foot. Thigh stretch. And stay heavy through both hips. And notice what how this posture feels for you. Thigh stretches can be really grounding for our nervous system. It can be a way to get us from a more of a uprooted state to a grounded state. Release. Soften your chest down to the earth. Stretch your arms back by your hips. Lift your shoulders. Strong legs. Lift your arms. Lift your chest. Squeeze the pinky side of the forearms towards one another and then lift your legs for a Shalabhasana. So Shalabhasana, or Superman, is what they call these in the fitness world. Use your inhale to get a little lift up. And as you exhale, hold that lift that you got. Another breath here, inhale. And exhale, release, lower your left ear to the mat. And breathe in. And breathe out. Again, inhale, rise up, Shalabhasana. Lifting through your arms and your legs. Give me one more breath here as you lengthen. Exhale, release, let it go. And bring your hands by your chest. Press your way up through that tabletop or through a plank and send your hips high to the sky, down dog. Center yourself on your mat if you moved away like I did. Inhale and reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, bend your right knee, open your hip. Work to make your knee the highest point of the pose here. Take a nice circle with your knee in one direction. Take this circle with your knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten your leg and square your hip. Exhale, pull your right knee through. Bring your shoulders forward and plant your foot in between your hands. Straighten out through your right leg. Option to use a block here. If you have one, you can place it on the inside edge of your front foot. This allows the earth to move closer to you. So if you're tight in the backs of the legs, a block underneath your hands will make this posture feel more accessible. Push your right big toe down, big toe mound down into the ground and pull back into space, creating a strength around the hamstring. Wrap your left hip forward, squeeze your left inner thigh towards the right. Inhale, begin to bend into your front knee. Bring the back knee to a hover. Low lunge with an elevated back knee. Exhale and straighten and folds. Cat lunge. Inhale, come forward, cow lunge, cow because you're in spinal extension. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat because you're in spinal flexion. Inhale and halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, bend into your front knee. Squeeze the base of your legs towards each other. Bring your left hand off to the left and reach your right arm high for a lunge twist. Encourage your back thigh back into space, pushing the femur bone towards the hamstring. Inhale. Exhale, ground your right hand down at the inside edge of your front foot. Shift your back heel down, warrior two legs. Begin to bend into your back left knee, straighten your right leg, and twist, reach your left arm high, crouching tiger. In your crouching tiger, keep bringing your hips low and untuck through your tailbone, deepen your groins. Wrap your right torso underneath your left. Take one final breath here. And exhale, pivot your right toes down. Find a wide-legged stance towards the long edge of your mat. Lift your arms away from the earth and take side lunges. Bend into your right knee and bend into your left knee. Think about your butt going low rather than your knee going forward. I mean, your knee does go forward. That's how the hinge of the knee works. But if you think about your hips going back, you might get a little bit more depth. Next time your hips land towards the left, bring all 10 fingers towards the left, all 10 toes to face towards the back side of the mat. Plant your hands and stretch your left leg back. Option to keep your left leg lifted so it's like a one-legged plank. Inhale, shift your shoulders past your wrist. Exhale, half push-up. Inhale, come through the back bend of your choice. Exhale, take it back, down dog. Pause in your dog. Reintegrate through the strength of your hands. And deepen your breath. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Bend your left knee and open up through your left hip. Find a nice big circle with your left knee in one direction. Take that circle with the left knee in the other direction. Inhale, straighten out through the left knee. Wrap your left hip down. Exhale, pull your left knee towards your nose and plant your foot in between your hands. Begin to straighten out through the left leg any amount and grab your block if you'd like. Actively pull energy up from the earth through the soles of your feet, up the inseam of the legs and into the pelvis. From the pelvis, stretch long through the spine, down and out through the legs, and maybe you bow the crown of the head closer towards the shin. Inhale, bend into your front knee, cow lunge. Exhale, straighten and fold to a cat lunge. Inhale, ripple forward to cow. Exhale, straighten and fold, cat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and bend into your front knee. Squeeze your legs and twist. Reach your left arm high. Pull your bottom shoulder back into space. From your collarbones, expand out long. Breath in. Exhale, ground. Your left hand, pivot the back heel down. Bend into your back knee as you straighten out through the left leg and flex your left toe straight up. Reach the right arm high. Now take a peek at your left toes. A lot of times the toes aren't actually straight up. So maybe getting used to looking at your body and then adjusting from what you see. Wrap that left torso underneath you. Inhale. Exhale, pivot your left toes down, wide-legged stance. Bring both hands towards the front of the mat. Spin both feet towards the front of the mat. Bend into your right knee, plant your hands, and stretch that right leg back. One-legged Tadasana, or one-legged plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, half push-up. Inhale, coming through cobra or up dog. Exhale, take it all the way back to your downward facing dog. From dog pose, walk your way all the way up to the front of the mat and find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And press into the earth. Inhale, circle sweep, reach your arms all the way up and high. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Moving through one breath per movement, allow yourself to move just behind your breath so that the breath is guiding you through each transition that we move through. Inhale, reach high to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold to an Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, deepen your groins and lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, step your left leg back and lower your left knee. Inhale and rise up, following the inhale up. As you exhale, hinge your hips back, straighten out through your front leg, half split. Inhale, reach your arms up, low lunge. Exhale, bring your hands down, step back, down dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. Exhale, half push up. Inhale, coming through cobra or up dog or any other back bend you'd like. Exhale, take it all the way back to a down dog. Keep it moving. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, pull your left knee through. Plant your foot in between your hands. Ground the back knee and inhale, rise up. As you exhale, bring your fingertips down. Push into your left foot as you step up to a forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, bring the palms all the way back down to heart center. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, long spine, hinge at the hips, forward fold. We're on our second side now. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step the right leg back, lower your right knee. Inhale, supinate your arms as you rise up. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten out through the front leg. Half split with a little balance. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward to a plank. Exhale, half push up. Inhale, coming through your cobra or up dog. Exhale, take it all the way back, down dog. Keep it moving. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, pull your right knee through, plant your foot, lower the back knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bring your fingertips down, push into your right foot as you step up to a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth. Inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, bring it back home, palms to heart center. Begin to transfer your weight to your right foot. Pull your left knee in. Bring your left hand to your ankle. Open your hip and place your foot on the inner thigh. You could also have your foot placed lower, but just avoid pushing your foot into the knee joint. So you're hugging the midline, pushing the sole of the foot into the thigh, not the knee. So once you found your stability here, then reach your arms up. Keep your gaze at one fixed point, your drishti, your point of focus. The easiest drishti is looking down on the ground. Grab your right wrist, lengthen up long through the sides of your waist as you stay firmly rooted through that right foot, and side bend over towards the left. Inhale, press down and out through your right leg, come back through center. Exhale, step wide to a goddess pose. Arms come to a cactus. In your goddess, lift your hips a little and lower a little. Lift a little. Lower a little. Drive into your legs. Inhale, straighten out through your arms. Pivot your back toes in and your front toes forward. Find a warrior two shape. Gaze over your middle finger. Widen the front knee towards the pinky toe as you push your back thigh back into space. Your hips should be neutral here. So if you feel one hip hiking up, pull that hip down and back so your hips are neutral. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward and reverse your warrior. Keep the depth in your front leg. The legs are nice and still, static. Exhale, side angle. And we'll just move with the breath here. Inhale and reverse your warrior. Exhale, take it to a side angle. One more. Inhale, reverse warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana. Exhale, side angle, pause here. Rest the elbow on the thigh, or you can bring a block to the inner edge of your ankle. Reach your top arm way in line with your ear. From your back hip, stretch down and out through that left leg and long through the left side body. Use your bottom right arm and press it into the inner right thigh if you have your hand on the block. Twist, open, peel your right torso underneath your left. Inhale and press into the legs, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, lower your back knee. Squeeze your legs towards one another. If you needed extra pressure for your back knee, you can always put a blanket or fold up your mat through the side. Inhale, rise up to a low lunge. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your thigh. Bring your left arm back into space and encourage your hips forward, bending into your right knee a little more. Bend your back knee and catch your foot for a thigh stretch. Once you get your foot, you can choose how deep you want to go. If you grab for the big toe side of your foot, you may be able to flip your grip by pulling the heel towards the sit bone and eventually facing your fingertips forward. Find your breath. Begin to release your foot. Move your block off of the mat. Move your blanket if you were using it. Plant your hands and reach your right leg high to the sky. Bend your right knee, open your hip. Stay here or flip dog. Plant your foot behind you. Lift your hips and lift your heart. Unwind, ground your right hand and reach your right leg high. Exhale, ground your right foot next to the left, downward facing dog. You can move through a vinyasa here if you'd like, otherwise just stay in down dog and find the rhythm of your breath again. One of the ways that we can really work to ground ourselves in the practice, really, and also in life, is just to breathe at a more consistent pace. And we practice this on our mat. Inhale, come high onto your tiptoes. Exhale, take a deep bend in your knees. Hop, step, or float. Forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And press into the earth. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Send your weight over to your left foot. Pull the right knee in. Bring your right hand to your ankle and bring the right sole of the foot all the way towards the inner thigh. Hug your midline. Sole of the foot squeezes into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Breathe. And begin to extend your arms high to the sky. Grab your left wrist and side bend up and over towards the right. As you side bend here, pull the left hip in. The tendency is for the hip to want to bow way out. And that's okay if it goes out a little bit, but think about the action of hugging your left hip in towards the midline. Press down and out through your left leg. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, open up and step wide, goddess pose. Bring your hands to your thighs. And let's go deeper here. Bring the hands to grab for your calves or your shins. Elbows are resting on the inner edge of your thighs. And shift your weight side to side. You could even just rest your elbows on your inner thighs. Your goal here is to widen the knees away from the midline. And pause and center. Lift up a little bit. Feel the legs get strong. Arms come to your cactus and pulse it out a little bit. Lift and lower and lift and lower. 2 more, lift, lower, lift, lower. Straighten out through your legs and your arms. Tadasana, starlight pose. Pivot your back toes in and your front toes forward. Bend into your front knee, gaze over your middle finger. So front heel can line up with the middle of the back arch, or you can go wider. Front heel to back heel might feel nice and stable for you. Whatever feels more stable is likely going to be more grounding. Inhale, flip your palm, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Exhale, come to your side angle, moving with the breath for the first 2 rounds. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, come to your side angle and more of a static hold. Place the block on the inner edge of your ankle. Reach your top arm to the sky or way in line with your ear. Now, the tendency is for the back hip to want to push forward. So encourage your back thigh back into space and wrap your left torso underneath your right. As you twist and wrap under, that front knee is going to want to push inward. Don't let it. Encourage your front knee towards the pinky toe. Maybe you use your left arm and press the left arm into the inner thigh. Stay strong through your legs. Inhale and reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Lower the back knee. Rise up, low lunge. Ground the left hand on the thigh. Reach your right arm back. Bend deeper into your left knee. Pull your back heel towards your bum and grab for your foot. Thigh stretch. If you feel like you're losing your stability, widen the left foot away from the midline. Wrap your right hip forward as you keep encouraging your right heel towards the bum. Release your foot. Bring your hands down. Lift off of your back leg. Reach your left leg high and open up through the hip. Either hang out here or come to the knife edge of your right foot. Plant your foot behind you and lift through the hips, lift through the heart. Push the bottom tips of your shoulder blades onto the back of the ribs. Slowly unwind, ground your left hand, reach your left leg high, and ground your left foot next to the right, down dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank. This is your last vinyasa. Exhale, half push up. Inhale, coming through up dog. Squeeze the shins towards the midline. Exhale, take it all the way back to a down dog. From your down dog, lower your knees down. We're moving into our final kind of more active posture for class. If you do have props, you can use them here. Bolster, blocks. Quarter turn on your mat so that you're actually on facing the long edge of your mat. And then for extra padding for your knees here, you can fold your mat in a little bit on each side. From here, bring your knees wide, like you're in a tabletop, but the knees are about twice as far apart. And point your toes out wide. So it's very similar to goddess pose, but gravity's working a little bit more with you this time, or against you. Bring your forearms to the ground. And this might already feel really quite intense for you, so I'll show you how you can use your props in a minute, but in case you don't have any props, just stay here, keep your core engaged, and play with bringing your hips back into space, encouraging the hips slightly behind the knees, and then you can come out of it and come forward, and just notice what it feels like when you come more forward. You probably don't feel as much sensation. But then when you bring your hips back into space, there's probably a moment where you're like, oh yeah, that's the spot. So work on staying there. Prop options, it could be that you have a block underneath your rib cage. That's actually very stable because your rib basket's strong. If you wanted something, you have the luxury of having a bolster. You could have a bolster there as well, or even just stacking a bolster and a blanket. For me, in this moment though, a block actually feels really quite good. And we're not going to be here for super long. Just another about 5 deep breaths. And work to make your exhales longer than your inhales. And begin to bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push into your hands first and slowly walk your knees back in. Unfold your mat on either side. Come to lie down on the ground. Once you arrive on your back body, pause for a moment, bend your knees, and feel the weight of your body rest into the support of the earth. And pull your knees in, give yourself a nice squeeze. Rock a little to the left and to the right. Find a version of happy baby. Knees go wide towards the armpits. Encourage your hands to the inner edge of your thighs to grab for the outside edges of your feet, ankles, or you could even hold the knees if it feels really tight for you. If you do have your feet, stretch your feet towards the ceiling. Rock a little side to side, maybe straighten out through one or both legs. Similar to that half version we started with. Allow yourself to take up space. And bring your legs all the way back in. Lift your shoulder blades off the mat. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale, straighten out through your legs and your arms for a Shavasana shape. And take a full inhale. Make it the deepest breath you've breathed all day. Open mouth, release HA. I encourage you to take the next couple minutes to rest and just be in this moment of silence on your mat. If you don't have that luxury of time in this moment, and just take 3 breaths before you return to the rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. Namaste.